Coming to you live from Studio 3 at Boston College, I'm Arthur Balin. Welcome to the Talon. We've got a lot of great sports action this past week, so let's not waste another second. Let's get started. The perennial NCAA Men's Basketball Championship, more commonly known as March Madness, draws attention year after year. With a year full of upsets, the attention and excitement for this year's installment of the annual tournament grew. And the tournament did not disappoint, with upsets abound. With all the dust clearing entering Monday night, two teams remained. The baby blue-clad pride of North Carolina, perennial frontrunners with expectations as high as the skyline of Charlotte, and the Villanova Wildcats, the constant best hope of a proud basketball city with generation upon generation of tradition. The stage was set. Let's see how things went down. Villanova, North Carolina going at it in Houston in the NCAA National Championship game. We'll pick this up in the middle of the second half. We see Ryan Arcidiacono driving the ball. He stops and he takes a jump shot in the paint and he scores. The Villanova was in control for most of the first half of the second half, as we see Marcus Page starting at the top of the arc, driving and taking a layup. UNC sort of begins to push back into the game a little bit here, but Villanova is still largely in control, as they would respond here as Arcidiacono brings the ball into the UNC backcourt. He takes a three-pointer, nobody around him, and he knocks it down to make it a two-possession in the game. They look to their athlete here. Josh Hart drives in, but it gets blocked. UNC going the other way. Isaiah Hicks will get a feed here, drives in. He misses with some contact with Daniel Oshefu, but Bryce Johnson puts a rebound home on the dunk. Villanova takes a timeout, and they're struggling a little bit here. Now, a Villanova turnover results in an opportunity for UNC to get something here. Joel Berry, gets a feed from Marcus Page. He knocks down a tray, and it's a one-possession game, 3:37 left in the game. But Villanova will respond. Jalen Brunson passes the ball to Phil Booth. As the shot clock winds down, he launches a prayer, and he knocks it down. Villanova just couldn't miss in the game, but UNC would respond as Marcus Page hits the ball in the corner, and he drains a three and draws UNC within three. And UNC takes a timeout, 1:30 left in the game. You see Roy Williams talking to his team. We look at the replay. That's just a beautiful shot from Marcus Page with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. But on the ensuing position, Phil Booth brings the ball up and passes to Arcidiacono. You'll see the pass right here. UNC pressing a little bit close to the half-court line, and Arcidiacono throws the ball away, and UNC gets a big chance here to tie the game. They won't tie the game, but Bryce Johnson just does take a shot close to the basket, and he draws UNC to within one. Nova would knock down two turnovers. As we approach the 30-minute mark, we see UNC misses the first shot, but a second shot does go in, and they pull within one again. Then on the ensuing Nova possession, Nova would make, again, its two free throws. Now UNC has a chance to tie. Going around, you'll see Marcus Page get a feed here. He knocks down an off-balance three-point shot, and he knocks it down, and UNC ties the game with 4.7 seconds left to go. The place is in a state of shock and euphoria. A timeout is called, and it was truly a remarkable moment. We see the huddle there, and we look at the replay. Marcus Page just takes this ridiculous shot to tie the game for UNC, but there were 4.7 seconds left on the clock. I was to see the opportunity one more time. Just an unbelievable shot. 4.7 seconds left in the game. I was just look at the play one more time. Again, just a remarkable, remarkable shot from Marcus Page. But 4.7 seconds left. Roy Williams' team needs to get one more stop as we see the celebration in the crowd. Arcidiacono brings the ball up, passes to Chris Jenkins, who fires a shot, and he knocks it down. Villanova survives the scare from UNC. They win their second national championship in program history, the first since 1985. The prevailing crowd goes nuts. Villanova, the 2016 national champions. Any coach in the NHL will tell you that the goal of any team is to make the playoffs every year. With this in mind, the 2014-2015 season for the Boston Bruins could only be classified by one word: failure, finishing 2 points out of the Eastern Conference wildcard. Now again, the Bruins sniffed the playoffs. With the team on the bubble, every game counts, including Sunday's matchup against the defending champion Chicago Blackhawks. Bruins and Blackhawks throwing down in Chicago. We'll pick this up in the second period. And folks, if you think that 5-0 score is bad, it's about to get a whole lot worse. Patrick Kane gets a feed and beats Johannes Gustafsson to complete a hat trick, and he puts the Blackhawks up 6-0. It looks like he gets a feed between Zach Strawman and Zdeno Chara, and Gustafsson really had no chance. You see the hats coming down now. Patrick Kane having quite the season. We'll go now to the third period, and the Bruins pick up 2 goals, and they'll get another one here as you see a shot here. Louis Eriksson's going to feed Patrice Bergeron, who scores on a tough angle. Let's look at the replay here. Bergeron, goaltender, just had no chance. Scott Darling, and it's 6-3. We see a shot there. Bergeron behind the net. If he goes over to Louis Eriksson, who takes a shot and it goes off of Brad Marchand and into the net, and the Bruins cut the lead from 6-3 to 6-4. As you see, the shot goes off of Marchand's skate, but it's not going to be enough. As we see the final seconds of the game, the Bruins drop a heartbreaker to the Blackhawks 6-4, and they continue a very tenuous march to the playoffs. The Celtics' future is less certain than their frozen water cross-arena brethren. With their playoff future ensured, the team looks to prepare for the road ahead. BCTV's Scott Hill spoke with the team earlier.
We're professionals. We'll get back on the groove of things and get our minds back right.
And Kobe was making shots, man. Kobe was playing like old school Kobe, and I'm just happy the way our team were able to finish the game.
We've got 10 guys that are available for practice because Jordan and James are with Canton tonight, or in Canton tonight with the Red Claws, and then Jonas will not be here today, but will play tomorrow as well. Another personal reasons.
The Boston College Eagles look to cap off a remarkable season, traveling down to Tampa Bay to compete for the sport's biggest collegiate prize, the NCAA Championship. Our Scott Hill met with the team to discuss the tournament.
I'm really excited personally. I know the team feels the same way. There's just been a fun feel in the locker room the last week or so, and we're just ready to get down there and get started.
I think really excited. I think our whole team's really ready for this really fun experience, and I think the last week of practice has been really good for us. I'm just really excited to go down to Tampa and try to win a natty.
And now we bring in Kyle Maslin to talk about the BC hockey team. Kyle, welcome to the show.
How's it going, Arthur?
Good, thanks for coming on. Now, BC has probably its biggest matchup of the season coming up against a longtime #1 team, the Quinnipiac University Bobcats. What are you expecting out of the team just generally going into Thursday night's game?
Well, I'm expecting them to show up. The biggest key is Thatcher Demko. Because, in hockey, a hot goalie can take a team as far as a championship, as we've seen in both the NHL and hockey historically. So I believe that Thatcher Demko is the best goalie in hockey, and if he can keep performing like that, I think BC has a very good chance at beating Quinnipiac and beating the winner of Denver, North Dakota. BC has done very good this year when playing top teams, especially in the second half of the year, having beaten BU, Harvard. We beat Denver earlier in the year. I really feel like the team is really ready for this run, as they proved in the regional. The biggest key outside of Demko is Miles Wood playing like he did in the regional. Miles Wood has been on and off the entire year, but when he's on, it adds a whole other dimension to the BC offense, allowing more scoring, which sometimes has been a little bit of an issue at points throughout the season for BC. But if Miles Wood can keep playing like he had been, and if Alex Tuck keeps being assertive like he had been, then BC really has a good shot as a complement the usually consistent Colin White this year.
You mentioned Thatcher Demko as one of the keys to Thursday evening's game, and especially with a high-powered Quinnipiac offense with Sam Annis, Travis A. Dennis, leading a very strong Quinnipiac offense. What does BC need to do to try and shut down Quinnipiac from really doing anything?
Well, the defenders need to make sure that it's a lot of long shots. They don't get many turnovers. I think one of the biggest keys would be turnovers in the offensive end. So that relies a lot on Santini, McCoshen. They're second-round draft picks each in the NHL. They need to play like that the next 2 days. They can't have the stupid turnovers. They can't lose an edge and then give them an easy fast break, because that's just putting too much on Demko. The defense needs to really do their best job, and they did against Harvard. Jimmy Vesey didn't do that much, and that was because McCoshen and Santini really did a really solid job at limiting his chances. All the great offensive players are going to get their own, but you can't create the extra opportunities for them.
Also looking to try and limit possession. Quinnipiac is one of the best possession teams in the country. Now, sort of moving back from the offensive-defense game, moving back towards the offense-defense game, you mentioned Miles Wood as one of the key forwards for BC, but they're going up against a very tough back line for Quinnipiac, one of the best defensive core in the country, and a very strong goaltender in Michael Gartig. What do you expect from the forwards, and what do you think they need to do to solve Gartig and the Quinnipiac defense?
Well, what they need to do is they need to play up to their size. BC has a lot of big forwards, except for Michael Gaudreau and Cangelosi. They're basically the only two really small guys on a BC team that's historically had more small guys than big guys. However, this team, Alex Tuck, Miles Wood, Colin White, they're all bigger guys. They can crash the net, as we saw. Ryan Fitzgerald, the junior, really, I think, needs to use his leadership to lead the more inexperienced Tuck, White, Fitzgerald. So if they just play big and insert their physicality, that's going to be a huge difference that could create more chances.
Before you get out of here, can I get a prediction from you?
BC, 3-1.
All right, you heard it here first. Kyle Maslin is picking BC to win 3-1. We'll certainly see if he is right. Either way, we expect that's going to be a fantastic game. And that will do it for this week's edition of The Talent. On behalf of Kyle Maslin and our crew behind the glass, I'm Arthur Balin. Have a good night. Enjoy the games this week.